Welcome back to Dynamon. Did you ever encounter yokai whose appearance seemed off? Then you might have encountered shinies, and I'm not talking about recolors or your criminals. This video is all about rare bony and fleshy variants. Like and subscribe for more Yokai Watch videos, and let's get started. At first, it is important to start with some basic information. In Yokai Watch 2, you can encounter some rare bony or fleshy variants which will have a different skill and some detail of their design changed. These yokai have a much lower spawn rate than their common version, but unfortunately, spawn chances are not documented. In the medallion, you can also switch between bony and fleshy versions in case you own both of a yokai. Which rare versions you can encounter or not is determined on your version or the decisions you make. In Bony Spirits, you can encounter any rare bony variant. In Fleshy Souls, it's the same for fleshy variants, but in Psychic Spectres we have to differentiate. If you imported your save file from a previous version, like I did with Bony Spirits, you can still only encounter rare variants of your previous version. However, if you start playing in Psychic Spectres, the yokai you can encounter depend on which side you pick. This topic is not very well documented, so tell me your experience, but on a Bony Elite file started in Psychic Spectres, I was not able to find any rare fleshy variant after searching them for quite a while, but I was able to find a bony popsicle on my first encounter. The same goes for my main file, where I couldn't find any rare fleshy variant. Once again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I might have made a pretty interesting observation. Whenever I managed to encounter a rare variant, it was always the middle yokai, and not even once a yokai on the left or right hand side. So if you hunt a certain yokai and recognize its common version, just ignore it, since even if there are 3 of that yokai, none of these can be a rare variant. I managed to befriend all 24 rare variants in Yokai Watch 2, so let's cover all of their different skills, appearances, and the best way to befriend all shiny yokai. Each side has 12 rare variants in total, which means this video is split into a bony and a fleshy section. So let's begin with all yokai allied to the Bony Spirit side. Our first yokai having a rare bony variant is Slice and Rice. Instead of his round nose, Bony Slice and Rice now has a mantaiko nose, which has an oval shape. The best way hunting him is Go-Go Junction on Bony Spirit's Way, which is a part of Mystery Way, since you can easily spot his rare variant and multiple rare variants can appear here. If you can't access Mystery Way, he can also be found in the old mansion in Blossom Heights. Instead of dealing more damage to Oni, Bony Slice and Rice's skill Bear Care now makes him heal up once his HP are low. If you evolve Slice and Rice at level 31, you obtain Flammarize, who has also got a rare bony fraction version. For him, his nose also changes from a pickled plum to a mantaiko, making it larger and oval-shaped. His common form also deals more damage to Oni, while his rare form completely blocks any form of fire damage, making him immune to it. Next up is Rhinormous, whose bony form adds an extra branch to his antler, making it 3 instead of 2 each. Just like Slice and Rice, he can be found on Go-Go Junction on Bony Spirit's Way, and should also be just fine to notice. Alternatively, you can also find him in trees in Harrisville, but Mystery Way is much more effective. Bony Rhinormous, however, can now loaf, since his skill changed to Lone Soldier, which makes him stronger when no yokai is around, making him less viable in my opinion. His fusion Rhinormous, however, has one of my favorite designs in his bony form, since his horn becomes massive. If you want to obtain this monstrosity, you need to fuse your Bony Rhinormous with an unbeatable soul, which can be bought at Jungle Hunter for 1800 points. So just catch some bugs and fish and you should be fine. Hungrams also has a rare bony form, which changes the color of his obi from blue to red. His skill changes from Starver, making food more effective, to Bear Care as well, meaning he can also heal himself up when his HP are low. The best way of hunting him is checking out cars, vending machines and grass in downtown Springdale. I recommend you to look around the parking area near Cafe Shanista, since you can easily reset it. Hungrams can be fused with a Love Packed Rice Ball to obtain Hungwatch, whose obi changes from white to yellow in his bony form. You can obtain the Love Packed Rice Ball easily when being successful at the dinner minigame as the main reward. Bony Hungwatch also has the new skill Bear Care, so he's the next yokai to regenerate his HP at a critical point. In contrast to Koma-san, Komajiro has a rare bony variant as well, whose belly swell now curves clockwise instead of counterclockwise. Out of all shinies, this change is the most difficult one to notice, and fun fact also let me think, Koma-san and Komajiro always had a swell curving in opposite directions, since I had rare Komajiro way before common 1 without noticing. Kenichiro also appears on the bony version of Go-Go Junction and can alternatively be found under cars and vending machines in Blossom Heights, which for him is even the easier way. His skill changes from Omega to Lightning Up, which turns his physical attacks into lightning attacks too. Komaiga also has a rare variant, whose belly swell now curves clockwise, and he's the only one I only own the rare version of right now. You can obtain him when evolving your Kenichiro at level 33. Just like Kenichiro, his new skill is Lightning Up as well. A really annoying yokai to hunt is Bony Rhinormous. This one changes the face on his belly button to a much more weird one and is pretty easy to recognize. He can be found in the grass in Breezy Hills, which can be done effectively by checking the grass on the left side of God Pond and reloading the area by entering Uptown. His skill changes from glossy skin to long lasting, which means he can concede critical hits now but has the same skill as Static King, so positive in spirits lasts longer. The worst of Bony yokai to hunt though has to be Nag. In her rare bony form, she now shows her teeth, which is a bit creepy but a really outstanding change. Her skill, Skilled Loafer, changes to the exact opposite, since with 2 serious she's not even able to loaf anymore. As I said, hunting her is horrible since she appears at Excellent Tower area under vending machines and cars. But now we have reached the bony variants everyone has been waiting for. Obviously, it is Bony Popsicle, who now has a heart-shaped ice marking on his head in his rare form. He can easily be gotten from hidden side street in Blossom Heights, and noticing his rare form is also not difficult. His skill changes from Penetrate to Fangsicles, which turns his normal attacks into ice attacks. But if you fuse him with a Snowstorm Cloak, you obtain the arguably rarest yokai in the game, being Bony Chilhuahua. He now has a heart-shaped icicle on his forehead, which is just pure aura. As you might know, the Snowstorm Cloak is one of the rarest drops at the Oni Crank-a-kai, and you need consistent high Oni Orb runs to increase your chance of getting him, which is why I created a Terror Time guide. With this strategy, I managed to obtain all rare Terror Time yokai, so never leave Terror Time and use your full 9 minutes, save up bombs for Okralus, use rocket punches for Gargaros, and play in Uptown Springdale. Bony Chilhuahua skill Alpine Wall also makes him immune to enemy ice damage. Now that we have covered our bony rare variants, it's time to switch to rare fleshy elite yokai. Our first rare fleshy variant is No Way, whose eye color changes from orange to blue. On top, he also gets a very useful skill, being Endurance, which lets him survive with 1 HP when he would normally die. You can easily find No Way in Desolate Lane, located in Uptown Springdale, and he should be easy to notice as well. When evolving No Way at level 29, you can obtain Impasse, who in his fleshy form keeps his blue eyes and now has silver instead of golden ornaments on his roof. His new skill is called Rocky Terrain and makes him block damage from all enemy earth attacks. Wallcapper also got a rare fleshy variant, which changes his bottle from a plain orange to one which gets white polka dots added. His new skill Water Play also doesn't make him a great loafer anymore, but instead increases his water damage over time. To hunt him, it's recommendable to go back to Mystery Way, but this time on the fleshy side of Go-Go Junction, since it also contains more rare fleshy yokai. In my opinion, he's one of the most difficult ones to recognize as rare, so checking out Uptown Springdale's Rivers is a valid alternative. At level 32, Wallcapper evolves into Airpack. His rare form's Teardrop Beat is yellow instead of blue, and his skill changes from Penetrate to Filler Up. This now makes him able to block damage from all water attacks in the game. Similarly to Rhinogon, Fleshy Beetall also gets an extra branch added to his antler, so it's 3 instead of 2 branches each. He also has the same skill, Lone Soldier, which means instead of never loafing, Fleshy Beetall gets stronger when no other yokai is around. You can also encounter him on the fleshy version of Go-Go Junction, and in case you have no access to Mystery Way, in trees around Mount Wildwood. When fusing your Beetall with the General Soul, which can be obtained at Jungle Hunter for 1800 points, you obtain Beetall, whose fleshy form's mandibles change completely and now resemble crab claws, making him one of the more unique variants. Fleshy Beetall keeps the same skill, Lone Soldier, and gets stronger when no friendly yokai is around. Now it's time to have a look at Fleshy Dimmy. In contrast to his common bony form, he gets an oval shape added to his headband. This change sounds pretty unnotable, but you can easily recognize his fleshy variant when searching under cars in Breezy Hills. Here I recommend you to look under the cars on the right hand end of Breezy Hills and resetting by entering Excellent Tower. In contrast to his bony form, Fleshy Dimmy can be targeted, but due to his skill Wavy Body, he's extremely good at dodging attacks. In order to obtain Blandon, you just need to level up Dimmy to level 24. In his rare fleshy form, Blandon also keeps the oval shape which was added to his design. Moreover, he keeps the skill Wavy Body as well, allowing him to be amazing at dodging. Suspicione, everyone's favorite yokai, also gets a rare variant, who has a different pattern on his loincloth, resembling a leopard instead of a tiger pattern. The best about him though is his skill Eyesight A, which makes every single attack hit. And on top, Suspicione doesn't attack friendly yokai anymore. He can be found under cars and in trash in downtown Springdale, so I recommend you using the same strategy as hunting Hungrams, being resetting the parking area near Cafe Shanista. Next up for fleshy variants is Warpia, who has got her eye color changed from blue to yellow. She can be found under cars in San Fantastico, which sounds annoying but gets a lot more bearable when you reset the area by entering the hidden workshop and only checking nearby cars. But make sure to stack up on at least one World Extreme, which you can get randomly when buying any drink from vending machines. Instead of earning you more money, Fleshy Warpia heals ally yokai when she can't attack. Sandmeh's rare fleshy form also received a similar change. His regular blue eyes are now orange and his skill allows him to loaf, but in return he only concedes half the damage from enemy attacks. He can also be found on Gogo Junction on Fleshy Southway and is a yokai whose rare form you can easily spot. An alternative way would be searching in the grass at Mount Wildwood, but since he can also appear in Old Mount Wildwood, you can reset the area by using mirror dogs. But now, when fusing Sandmeh with the Sandsuit, you can obtain one of the rarest yokai. Fleshy Mr. Sandmeh keeps his orange eyes, but additionally, his hair is parted on the other side now. Mr. Sandmeh also keeps the skill Carefree Spirit, making him a tank who is actually viable, since he concedes half the damage from attacks as well. But as you might know, getting a Sandsuit is absolutely painful, so here's some tips. It can only be gotten from scratch-offs around Excellent Tower as a third prize. Instead of opening all scratch-offs, you should always open between 5 to 10 until you find a badge which has many high prices, since these could contain a Sandsuit. Once you found a good badge, don't save anymore and use it until you get a suit, since the possible items are the same, just rearranged in a different order. If you open all scratch-off tickets in one run, you might run out of scratch-offs completely. Since you now know every single rare variant of Yokai Watch 2, tell me which one is your favorite in the comments. My personal top 5 consists of Bony Rockabilly, Fleshy Beetall, Fleshy Mr. Sandmeh, Bony Rhinormous and in first place Bony Chilhuahua. Also comment if you already own any of the type rare yokai and make sure to like and subscribe for more Yokai Watch content. If you liked this video, you will absolutely love my 50 facts video, which covers so many different content niches of Yokai Watch. Also shoutouts to Mugen for creating this awesome staticking model and Timmy Let's Play for animating these amazing backgrounds.